I'm not ready to start missing you. I hope the truth you seek and speak are bulletproof, cause truth has the same effect that bullets do. And when you speak truth, you know what bullets do. They come for you, run for you. But mama, don't be afraid. If sacrifices must be made, we walk a righteous path, it must be brave. Oh mama, don't be afraid. I'd rather die on my feet instead of live on my knees. Intertwined destinies, trying to get the best of me. Give them my heart and my soul, and then the rest of me, like Malcolm, Marcus, Garvey, and Khalid. How can I be afraid to speak a righteous man's name? How can I be afraid to feel these righteous men's pain? In our hearts lives the land of the free and the brave. This is no seeking you'll find, this is seeking be saved. Salvation in a song, Babylon, what's wrong? Wanna get it on? You better trot along, cause I'm the spiritual rebel. Walked through hell and made peace with the devil. Never cease, never settle.
Welcome to Men 101. This is our first episode. A show dealing with men's health, relationships, sex, fashion, food, whatever you want to talk about, it's from the male perspective. To my immediate left is Nick Bast, my panel member. Nick's from Greek heritage, an avid actor several years ago. To his left is Tony D'Amico. He's our divorced guy, entrepreneur from Montreal, from Greek Italian heritage. And sitting in for Peter Chin is Greg Kilbisky, has decided the panel today. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much for having us.
So our first show is on about online dating. How does it affect the world today? How does that sound, boys? Huh? Anybody here on the online dating show?
I'm on the online dating.
You're on the online dating show? Yeah. How's it going for you?
I'm still single. So
It depends, though. What kind of is it a Tinder online? Is it a eHarmony online? What is it, though?
oh, I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna disclose.
I can't say it. But I've tried a lot of them. Put it that way.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Some are good. Some of them are meant for other things. So it depends what you're looking for.
I feel you.
Yeah. So do you find it's affected the way you talk to women? Like back 10, 15 years ago, you'd meet somebody maybe in a bar, a restaurant, maybe in the grocery store. Have you a different approach to it now that it's online? Do you get away with more stuff when you're online?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not on it now. I'm in a happy relationship, I must say. But I mean, I've tried it before, and sitting behind a computer screen, you're more open. You reveal more. You're not as shy. You're not as held back, reserved as you would be meeting someone anywhere, in a bar, in a grocery store. So yeah, you're a little more open, and you're a little more daring with your words.
Right. And how do you find the women's take on it? Are they more open? Are they more giving, more sharing?
They're just as open as
I think
you
so,
are.
yeah.
I find as long as you're open, they're going to be open.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no holding. Well, there's still holding back, but to a certain extent.
Because there was a time when women were saying, "I don't want to be approached." Like, men are constantly pulling at me in a bar. Or men are constantly bothering me. I just don't want to be bothered anymore. So now this online dating thing has come on. So has it trickled from that onto the online dating thing? Has that happened at all?
Well, I find it's changed in that aspect. They're a bit more outgoing. They'll reach out sometimes. So. It's not always you doing the reaching out and say, hey, you know what, yeah, okay, I like, or... So it depends. I mean, you get a bit more confident behind the screen, like he was talking about, than going face-to-face right away, not knowing if the person's even interested in you or not, so...
The anonymity reduces a lot of the stress and the anxiety. So you tend to be more laid back, and yeah, you reveal more... more about yourself and more so actually, because I've done some research on it, more so actually than an actual relationship, actual meeting somebody. You're more open. Yeah.
So what about, have you been tricked into being with somebody that's not themselves? Because this seems to be an interesting thing, as today.
I think he can speak on this. Is the issue of today, right?
I'm answering all the questions, but yeah.
This is the truth.
Sure.
Go
but
ahead.
No, you know what? It's not that they trick. It's just, listen, it depends how you take the picture and how many pictures you put up there and how old those pictures are. It's happened where you're talking to somebody and you've seen these pictures and the girl looks great, you know, and you get to know them and they're interesting and all that. And then, you know, you meet them for the first time and you're like, well, how old were those pictures? You know, I mean,
Well, this is what I'm talking
kind
about.
of don't look the same. It's
Right. Like,
so you kind of get disappointed, but you know, they're still a human being. You're not going to be disrespectful. You sit down, you have a
Exactly.
drink or two,
Yes.
and you know, then you say, listen, I'm sorry, but if you're interested, you continue. If not,
you know, we have a
each
great
go
guest.
separate ways.
We have a great guest on today from Single in the City with Laura Bilotta. And she's brought a guy on, John Majo, that's been catfished for quite some time now. So this will be an interesting take on what you guys have to say compared to what she has to say, because she's actually in the industry itself, you know. Like, do you not feel that if you've been honest with a woman and you've put up your picture and you say who you are and then you go meet that girl and she's not the person, she's not the same person, do you not think you've been misled in any way? Do you not think it's, you know, I know women talk about it's great to have a personality, but in the end of the day, first things first, it's a physicality.
attraction, of course.
You need to be attracted to the person that you're dealing with, that you want to hang out and take out to dinner or walk down the street with or be around.
It's like the old days when you used to go to a bar, you used to look at the girl across and say, you know what, she looks pretty good. You go buy her a drink. You try to talk, because I mean the music is so loud, it's kind of hard to communicate in a club kind of thing. But, you know, it's easier online because there's no...
You know, I mean, you talk about communication now. Like, I mean, I have to say, like, a few of my friends, younger friends, they don't even approach women in the bars anymore. It's they're texting and talking.
Yeah.
The girl's sitting across the bar from him, like she won't go over and talk. They're both talking to each other through text. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of...
And I think it goes back to what you were saying. It's about the deception of the photo. I'm all pro. If you see, this is my don't do. If they're just showing man or woman just a photo of their face, it's just a face. You can't go by that. And hey, I'm just being honest. Like, you want to see everything. Like you mentioned the physical attraction.
Yeah.
You want to know what she's kind of working with. You know
right,
what I mean?
everybody's
So to
different
speak,
though,
sure.
right? Like I'm saying, everybody's different. Everybody's attracted. Maybe somebody attracted to muscular women. Some are attracted to over heavier set women. Some people are attracted to thin women. It's an attraction. It's what you're attracted to, and you want to see that and get that when you meet that person. Isn't that right? You know,
Can't go by just face.
go by. Just don't. No, just
can't
don't
go
face.
by
No
just
face
face.
pictures.
No,
That's
I like
all we're
that. I
saying.
like
Just
that.
full body pictures, please.
So then you're going to be
That's
upset when you
good.
get the picture of
Yeah,
the face, and
like,
then you're going to go.
you got to message
So
her
now
and
you're
say,
telling me
It's happened. I've
gotta-
asked. I said, listen, okay, you got a beautiful face, but there must be shoulders and arms to that
What's
face.
going on, right?
I mean, you know,
So if you got the body and then didn't get the head, you got the head and you don't like the head attached to the body.
it's a mess.
So anyway, guys, this is a great topic. We're looking forward to talking to Laura and John now. We'll be right back to talk to Laura and John and be back on set with us. Great conversation, guys. Welcome back, guys, to Men 101. Listen, we have Laura and John here. Laura is the host of Single in the City here on Rogers TV. Laura created Single in the City 14 years ago. Has an ebook out now called Impress Your Date and Get a Second Date. Her upcoming book, Single in the City, will be out soon. Hi, Laura.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm awesome. So give us some more information about yourself.
Well, I've been running Single in the City for 14 years. Single in the City is an event company as well. I'm a date coach at Single in the City and a matchmaker.
A matchmaker.
Yes, I wrote a book called Single in the City, which will be out hopefully in the bookstores in the fall. So I'm just working on all the promo for that. I have a TV show here on Rogers called Single in the City, where we talk about dating, relationships, like a lifestyle show. It's an hour show as well.
Awesome.
So how do you connect couples?
How do I connect them?
Yeah, you're a matchmaker. How do you match them?
Well, based on, hey, that wasn't in the script, no.
No, I mean,
Oh.
people,
Oh, just on-
people fill out like,
Yeah,
like
people
forms. and
people fill out a form, and
They're-
then I meet them in person, right? And then I get a feel for who they are,
Mm-hmm.
and then I base it on, what their interests are, who they are as people. I wouldn't put, for instance, I wouldn't put two people together. If one person's extremely OCD and one person's a slob, I wouldn't put them together, So it's, it's a work in progress, but
And
But
how
it
did you
works.
come up
It's
with
a-
this idea? Like where did it stem from?
which Single in the City?
Yeah. 14 years is a long time now.
Well,
so.
14 years ago. So I started getting up in age. I won't tell you how old I am, but and I realized that there's nowhere to go. There was nowhere to go to meet people, right? So, and it's like a struggle. And I saw a lot of my friends and stuff around me struggling to meet people. So I saw online dating had started, and then there was this company, someone had brought to my attention that there was someone doing this they were calling it Zoom dating or whatever.
Right.
It's called speed dating. So I was one of the first companies to bring it to Canada. And so that's how it started. I got tons of media and press, and I was one of the first companies here, so it kind of exploded. And then from there, I just started to expand the business with coaching. So I really like helping people be, as good as they can be and stuff, and help them, bring them to a place where, they can find a mate and be the best that they can be.
Yeah, maybe Tony should get some advice from you. He's our online.
Are you
dealer.
single?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I can hook you up.
We'll talk after.
So, it's going quite well then.
Yeah, 14 years.
14
Going
years, yeah.
strong, yeah.
Yeah. So have you found
Actually,
any-
John comes to my events.
There's a reason for that, but we'll get into that
get
later.
that.
Not anymore, but he thinks speed dating is one of the best.
It's the best.
the best?
Yeah.
never tried
The
it.
absolute best.
It's actually a hidden gem for a lot of guys. They don't get it until you go. You
Okay,
just
so
don't.
I'm that guy that
Well, let John explain,
I don't
because-
get the speed dating thing.
Speed dating is the most efficient way to meet women. Because you are there with them for 3 minutes at a time.
Or no,
Well,
four.
or 4 now, depends on the, now 4. You get to see them. You know that they're a real person. You get to see the whole body.
Right.
Yeah.
He listened to it.
So
Right? So you see them, right? And then you have 5 minutes. But men are different than women. Women have an abacus at the end, and they have like 700 things that they think the guy should have, and men just go by what everyone should. Can I spend 5 minutes with that person? Because believe me, when you spend 4 minutes with someone and you like them, it goes by like that. Just like any relationship you've ever been with.
Yeah.
You're with people that you care about, or your friends or whatever, it goes by quick, right? You spend 4 minutes with someone you don't like, it can be an eternity.
So the speed dating thing, okay, you have to spend the 4 minutes. Is that what? If you don't like the person you're sitting next
You
to,
do.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
can you get up
You're
and move
stuck.
on?
No.
Or
you
you
can't.
stuck
I
there?
mean, it's happened. I've seen everything in 14 years. You see guys
Bounce
leaving
around.
girls and
Storm
going
off.
to the bathroom and then coming back when they
Time's
find an
up.
attractive girl. And I actually catch them usually and go, "What are you doing? Don't do that."
But it's 2 adults consenting.
But
right?
no, you have to
No.
sit with everybody. But the beauty of it is that it's only 3 or 4 minutes, usually 4, and I mean, people are there to have a good time too, right?
Yeah, it's
so
great.
It's
I
not
mean-
like, oh my God, if I don't like her, I gotta go. Everyone there is really nice. They're all professionals, a lot of them. So you learn a lot from people.
So it's an older age. It's up in
Not
the, Not
necessarily.
older age. I don't mean older age. I mean it's up higher than the 25, 26.
No,
year old.
there's one event tonight, 25 to
25 to
35.
35.
Yeah,
So
different
it's,
events
but
with
it's a
different age
25 and
brackets.
upwards. It's not necessarily. below
Not
that.
usually.
We do. We have 22 to 32 female and 24 to 32 male, and then it goes up from there. 25 to 35, 28 to 38, 30 to
Right.
40, 35 to 45, and then we have the ones that are not as many, 45 to 55, because it's a lot harder to get the guys in that age group. Now there's so many women in that age category, and it's so much harder to get a guy to go speed dating in that age group. So we don't have as many events, which
Do you
is
think
sad.
it's just because it's called speed dating? You think that's the issue? Maybe they don't. Like I said, I've never been, and I don't really understand the concept. But I do now because you said the 4 minutes, and you sit in
Well,
the 4
I don't
minutes.
know,
which is
because
a
the
good-
younger generation gravitates to it. Maybe because as well, older men tend to, I think, want to date younger women a lot of times. You know, they
Right.
don't want to date
You seem
someone
a
their
little
own age.
squeamishy about that. Not you want to.
Well,
you don't want to
because-
say that.
But what do you mean by
You're an
how
attractive woman,
older
so-
men, like age
Yeah,
gap?
like,
What are you
it-
Oh,
talking
not for me. It has nothing to
No,
do
no,
with
but what do
me.
you like? Which age
sorry.
gap? Like 40-year-old wants a 20-year-old? That's crazy.
Not necessarily
Well, it's
40,
happened.
maybe more in the when they're 50. You know,
Oh, okay.
well, just because of my practice, right? Like I meet guys or men, and a lot of them will say, well, you know, they might be 50, and say, well, can you find me a 35-year-old? And it's like, well, why can't you just date someone your own age?
That's right.
Well, you know, they say they don't take care of themselves that well, you know, and I think, well, that's what they think of you as well, you know, and I meet so many women. I met a beautiful lady the other day. She was like 48. She was gorgeous. And, you know, she's like, she doesn't want to meet anyone over 50. And I was like, well, you know, you might want to step that up a bit,
Right.
because guys 50 want to date girls that are 40. So it's just the way it is. I don't make the rules.
Somebody once told me half your age plus 7 is the type of woman you should be dating. So if you're 40, she should be 27. Because then you're on a mental level. Because women, we've always been brought up as men to understand that women are much more mentally prepared than we are. Like back in when I was going to high school, like the 13 or 14 or 15-year-old girls were dating guys that are 19 and 20 and 21. They weren't dating when I was. They weren't dating the same age guys that I was.
But it changes as you
Right.
get
So
older.
it changes for
reverse.
it's not, but so it changes for us as well. Is what I'm saying, right? So we now realize what you guys were doing when you were younger, dating the old. Now we want to date younger, so it's come. It
Right.
seems like it's flipped. It's flipped on its head, no?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah. And I think a lot of men are delusional, you know, I'll be honest.
Wow.
Well, because like,
place to
it's not, you know,
Nice
it's,
place to say that. In the show. Like you're on Man 101 and
there
we're
are a
delusional.
lot, and this is a shout out to all
But what
the
I'm
women
going to
out
do,
there
Laura, is I'm
that
going to
are.
cut you off. I'm going to cut you off,
Yes.
and I don't mean to because we're going to go to break. But we're going to come back with Laura and John, and this is going to be a heated conversation. Back in a moment. And we're back with Laura and her delusional comment about men. So let's just see exactly what Laura has to say about men being delusional.
Well, you know, as a shout out to all the women over 40 out there, I'm over 40, and I still get hit on by guys in their 20s. So just because you're older doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have it anymore, and that you don't look good and you don't take care of yourself. So, you know, for every guy who says to me, well, you know, I want someone younger because she just doesn't take care of herself, that's a load of I can't swear on the show. So, yeah. So some of them are delusional.
Some of them, there's some of them are delusional.
Some, not all.
We agree
Not
that you're an
all.
attractive older woman. There's nobody in this panel here would disagree with you with that. And being hit on by men, younger or older, you would take it as a compliment. I would like assume whether the young.
course.
Okay, so there are some men out there that are delusional. There are others that are not.
That's
Laura will
right.
find
Not
you.
all, but some are delusional, yes.
So, John, give us some insight to yourself. Tell us, you're the notorious catfish victim.
Yeah.
It says here, I may have seen your face somewhere before, and I don't believe so. But I had a conversation with you briefly before you came on the show, and you've been to Ireland a lot, and what you'd said one of your friends had seen you in Ireland on a show in Ireland, or your picture on a show in Ireland.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you wanna?
Yeah, so I don't know why, because there's so many good-looking guys on this panel, but I'm one of the most famously copied pictures in the world.
Really?
My face.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or whatever. I don't know why they picked me. I'm not that cute.
Yes, you are. Oh,
You can't say
John,
that.
you're so cute.
Thanks, Laura.
John,
that's so
what do they
sweet.
do with your picture? What do they do
So
exactly
what they
online?
do is they use my photo to steal money from women. And
Okay,
they
so-
do it in so many different ways. So
Really?
they use a picture of me and my nephew, they call him my son, and then they say he needs a kidney operation,
Oh
can
my
you please
God.
send money? They will say, for some women in poorer countries, what they'll say is, because they usually have me dressed up in a general's uniform, they'll say, I love you so much, but I'm off fighting a war. If you send money, I'll bring you to America or Canada or Britain, and you can be my wife, but send me money so I can pay for the lawyer.
But how do they get you in a general's uniform, or are they Photoshop?
It's all Photoshop.
Okay.
Now you can do anything with
But
Photoshop.
why? Okay. If
But they stole your.
But my
one
face,
person stole your face, but how did it become so like?
it's not
fast?
just one person anymore. Now I call them different cells.
It's a telemarketing.
But why?
basically.
Why your face throughout all these groups? Like why they use your face once and they'll use someone else's face?
No, they use mine all in different countries.
You have
So
That's why, because it's an honest
He
baby
actually
face.
He actually has a picture of him in like a general uniform, right? Like the
Yeah,
army.
there's
and
tons.
So, like, I
that's-
mean, my concept of catfishing was never to take money of somebody. It was just for you to fall in love with somebody with a picture. And like the same happened to the Notre Dame football player.
Yeah.
That when he said this girl was catfished and he'd never met her, but he'd fallen in love with her and all that stuff, and it was all. So it wasn't about taking money of somebody. It was actually some type I'm in
Luring.
love with you type. I'm in love with you, right? So what you're saying is it's like
It's more insidious than that.
It's a scam, basically,
It's a
like the-
total scam.
So-
There's a website called Romance Scammers. The show in Ireland was holiday romance scams uncovered, and so they used my face to go to Jamaica, I think it was, a woman from England, and she went and she found some Nigerian guy there, who obviously didn't look like me,
right.
right? So
So then again, you have to look at the individual. Like, I mean, why are these women asking for money, and then all of a sudden they're sending money over? Like, we're here to date. And if anybody's asking you for money right off the bat,
I've always said, don't. Where's the camera? Don't send money to people you never met in person, ever.
Right.
It's bad enough that you send it to your own friends and family, but don't send money to anyone you never met.
How do they get your picture? From where?
In the old
Online
days, so it was from online dating, and in the old days, Facebook didn't have all the security stuff that they have now, and it's not as prevalent. And so they went into my Facebook account and got all my photos, and so then they photoshopped them on a number of stuff, and now literally, it's pretty heinous, to be honest.
And even with all like the information that people get about this, people are still scamming people. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, I mean,
they prey on the lonely, right?
Mm-hmm.
well, you'd have to look at yourself as an individual and wonder when somebody sends you an email like that or whatever, and say, "Well, I need a kidney for my son. Why don't you? I'm in love with you, or fly me." Seriously.
It's after months, though. So what
Yeah,
they
but
do,
even after months,
They
you
build a
should-
whole
no,
relationship connection, and then
this is what happens. So these
they
women
nail
are
you.
very lonely. They build a whole relation, like Tony said, it's after months, couple months. So the women feel that they actually know them because it's all online, right? Through Skype or whatever. And
So they Skype with these individuals. These women Skype with you. They're Skyping with you, but it's not you. Is what you're
That's
saying.
right.
So then, if they're Skyping with you, they would see your face. Is that correct?
yes.
So then, what face do they have on if they're Skyping with them?
I don't know how that exactly works. It's not me.
No, I understand
Although
that,
I
but
wish sometimes, there's a YouTube thing that's got 20,000 views. So I figured if I got $10 from each one of those views, I'd have $2.8 million, right? Like, it's a lot of money. So I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they do that, but they do it, and I haven't figured that out yet.
Right. And have you had any flack from like the authorities or anything? Have you been in?
I wish.
So you'd rather
I
be-
wish that would actually happen.
Really?
That's so what about, isn't there? You can get a couple of guys that do this catfish, whatever, and they go out and they find all these people. Have you contacted them in any way?
Well, the police had a big romance scamming ring breakthrough for 860 million, I think it was.
Wow.
That was a few weeks ago, so I called them when that big
Right.
thing broke, a couple months in October last year. So I went to the police station and reported, and they're like, and they haven't called me since. So they will never do anything. I have 3 reports with Metro Police. I have a report with the RCMP, one with the FBI, and one with Interpol.
And they refuse to help you?
They don't care. Because no one's, to them, it's not a crime, right? No one's getting hurt. But these women are losing
Money.
literally hundreds. The top one so far that's talked to me was a Russian woman, was $140,000.
$140,000.
And didn't you get a message today?
I get them every day, almost every day.
What did the message?
I
today
couldn't
say?
tell because it was in, I don't know what language it was in.
We can Google Translate it. Don't worry about it.
So
I
have
don't. You know what, Tony? I get them literally
feel
every
bad
day.
for her.
So
Yeah, I mean, like, so have you had any positive experience from this online dating
No.
whatsoever? Not so ever. So
I couldn't even match him
so
up.
you just go to the speed dating now just as a
no, I can't be online anymore. Like, there's
but
no
the
way.
speed dating's not online.
No,
Speed
that's
dating's on-
why it's great for.
No, but he's
Right.
dating someone now.
Oh, you're dating
but
someone
I am
now.
dating someone now, and she's great. So I'm quite happy with what I have. So I'm.
But it bothers her that you're.
It does.
Yeah.
She really. It affects my dating life tremendously, because
she
women.
did. Okay.
Well, it really affected our. Like, we had some huge arguments over this at the beginning,
Well,
and I'm like,
Listen, we'll be right
Which are
back,
no
John.
control
We'll
over it.
continue this conversation because this is really
control over it.
interesting.
I mean,
Be right back with John and Laura. Welcome back, guys. Listen, we have a great guy on the show here right now, Charlton Wallace. He's a fashion guru, HR personnel, and a professional photographer. If you need your pictures taken, Charlton's the man. Charlton's also a resident of Peel and shoots for runway shows and blogs. He's here today to talk about fashion, help us guys figure out what we're doing wrong or what we're doing. Are we actually doing something right? Let's figure out. But before we get to Charlton or talk about that, you missed a great conversation there about online dating, man.
Now, but you know what? I was able to catch a bit of it. I was sitting in the audience there, and I sort of heard, some of it. And, it was interesting talking about pictures.
Pictures.
And, what you're getting online. Are you getting a real deal or not? Well, I can honestly tell you, being a professional photographer, and, I've shot for these type of portfolios where individuals want to be on online dating, or they want to use it for LinkedIn or whatever the case may be. And I can tell you, in all honesty, I've never shot a picture, whether it's male or female, that I didn't do any post-production work on. So, I mean,
Wow.
Buyer beware at the end of the day. If I want to say that. We all want to look our best. Let's not kid ourselves. We want to make sure we put our best foot forward and, look the best we can possibly look, sort of like if we're on our wedding day, per se. They say that's the most best we ever look as a gentleman, the most beautiful we ever look as a bride. So, what I do is try to recreate that moment without the I do's and, give you a fair opportunity out there because, you touched on a very important point earlier where, we're attracted by physicality, what we see, and that's what draws us to an individual, whether it's in person or whether it's in picture. And at all times, you want to make sure that, you look the best you can look, when you're out there.
Well, I can vouch for you, Charlton. For Charlton's definitely taken care of several things I've done in the past, and he doesn't touch up any of my photographs.
Well, not everybody need touching up. And you happen to be one of those gentlemen right now. I can say, you know what? As it comes out of the camera, that's you.
That's me. Well, it's nice to have you here, Charlton. So give us some insight to your background, and so you can tell us from a male perspective what you think we should be actually trying to do to fit in or dress properly, or what it would be.
You put me on the spot here because it's not what I'm here to tell you how you should look or what you should do. I think, fashion is a personal thing, and it's all about taking that risk when we dress, and it's more about being comfortable with what you're wearing. So often I see, you watch the runway shows, I've gone and I've shot fashion shows and everything, and, individuals see what's on the runway and think that, it's really for them. And what you have to understand is, the designers and so forth design the clothes, for a specific individual or for a specific type. And what you necessarily see on the runway is not ready to wear. It's for you to be able to take those pieces and to be able to make them your own. So, one of the fashion trends is the onesies coming out for men. And I can tell you for sure, I cannot fit in a onesies and make it look good. And very few guys can do that. So, not because you see it on the runways or you see it in the magazine, it doesn't mean that that's what you're all about.
It's a shame Peter's not here. Peter's our fashion guru as well. It's on the panel. You guys would have a great conversation because he's in this business, and that's why we have him on the panel. And we wanted to have some feedback from you guys. But that's different. He's not here today.
He's not there. But my perspective is really from behind the lens, and also from being in the boardroom and what I've seen out there. And I'm not really, an expert about the fashion trends or what's happening out there and what's going to be the next, Gucci or the next, it thing for when it comes to man fashion. But what I can say is, the men nowadays are stepping up their game. Before it was the track pants, it was a sports attire, and you're going out there and thinking that's going to be it, and you're going to be able to to attract someone in there in whatever preference you have. But now what I'm seeing as a trend when we look at, men out there and young men and older men is we want to put, a little sharpness to what we do. So the jacket, the blazer is key, what I'm seeing as a trend out there in the field. And it's, it's casual, it's business, and it's, it's elegant or whatever you want it to be. But, the jacket is making up for a lot of our shortcomings out there. So, we talk about trends. I see shorts, coming out. Not your cargo shorts or your sports shorts, but we're talking maybe your chinos, your nice dress shorts, slanted pockets. You've got your boat shoes on, and then you top it off with a nice blazer with a nice shirt under it. That is going to seal the deal in a lot of cases, as opposed to showing up in your chinos and your sports attire and thinking that's going to do it.
So do you think the shorts, the shorts to the knee, or what about the shorts that come halfway down the calf muscle? Like when I was back in the day, they were told it was called half mast. You'd never allowed to. So now it's a very European thing, Nick. Like you being Greek and Tony being Italian, this is a European style of dressing. It's not necessarily a North American style of dressing, but it's actually got itself into North America now.
I think fashion is crossing all barriers and all boundaries right now. And, what's old is new and what's new is old. And I think, again, it comes to that comfort level on there. Not everybody can pull off, that below the knee, right above the ankle look type of thing.
I'm one of those guys.
You're one of those guys? I can attest, I'm also one of those guys. I'm more the shorts that just comes, right above the knee, nice pleats on it or slanted pockets. Color in shorts are a big thing now. You're getting men being more adventurous and bolder
yes.
with colors. In the past, when you start to, when you're wearing bright colors, you're sort of snickered at, because it's not a fashion trend here. But now when you look at, you take the U.S. for instance, they tend to drive a lot of the fashion because the industry is bigger there. The Hollywood scene, the Miami scene, and so forth. And where we're getting our inspirations is seeing, our athletes and, our actors and so forth, wearing those bright colors and taking those risks, where they're wearing the shorts, they're wearing the man's slippers, and again, it always comes together with a nice jacket too, right? So that's really where we're getting our ideas, and this is what I'm seeing, as I'm downtown, maybe just doing some street photography and so forth, and I see a couple out there. The trend has really changed when it comes to man fashion, where we want to look just as good, represent the partner that we're with, and sometimes you see a couple on the street and you look at the guy and then you look at the girl and you're like, man, he must be rich because he looks nothing compared to what she's presented.
He's in jogging pants and stuff like that, right? Like, I mean, the jogging pants, like, this is the whole thing, men wandering in jogging pants now, like.
I think the piggyback off of what you were saying is, I think the just above the knee shorts are coming back. I think it's like a more Euro look, and even supporting the Euro Cup right now. I think it's like a look that's coming back in, and I think as well men are starting to wear a lot of hats.
Hats, yeah.
I think it's the new thing. I mean I have one in the back. I should have put it on. I should have came out with it on, but I'm actually trying a new look to support the hat, and I think it's a good look. I don't know where it started. I don't know exactly when. But I believe is this year, and I like that look. I think, a nice red shirt like this with a nice hat on and whatnot.
We'll be right back with you and your hats, Greg, after the break. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you shortly. See you soon. Welcome back. Hopefully you've stayed on the show. So we were talking about hats there, and we turn around and look at our boy Greg sporting a hat.
I had to support it. I mean, we were talking about it. I want to show you the true trends that are going on these days.
Yeah.
To add, I'm glad you did that, because when we talk about accessory, the hat is it this year. In the summer. We're talking about sports hat, but not necessarily, we're talking about the baseball hat and the curves on it, but not from a sports perspective. We're looking at more designer hats when we're talking Dolce & Gabbana, we're talking your Burberry, we're talking your Pradas. You're starting to see a lot of that now. And again, it just sort of ties the outfit together depending where you're going. If you're going to a picnic, or you're going to a concert, or you're just going out for an evening dinner type of thing, and you want to style it a little.
Got
And
it.
you know, the fedora is coming back.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember, but you know, Pharrell. You know, last year he rocked the Mountie, and that was such a big thing.
Oh, yes,
he
that's
put
right.
Canada on the map
bold.
with that.
It was
correct.
It was bold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it
worked.
was, it was.
And it worked.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Like I
was.
would say, like I mean, like Tony, would you wear a fedora?
I don't want to mess up my hair.
That's why. See, there's the difference in men with hair and men without hair wearing hats.
enough.
Men with hair necessarily want to keep it everything nice and trim and clean and don't want to affect the hair.
I always
Put
wear
the hat
baseball
on.
caps, but
Yeah,
just
but we're not talking about baseball cap. We're talking about would you wear a fedora? Like you don't want to. If you're
No.
going out, you're not wearing a fedora,
No.
correct? Absolutely, because you've got hair. So like Nick, on the other hand, would you wear a fedora
Actually, I would, yes.
Yeah,
And
but-
I have worn it with hair.
with hair?
With hair.
Because I've seen Nick with hair. Nick's a very handsome man with hair. Not that he's not a handsome man without hair. He's absolutely a handsome man. But like I've seen Nick, like so you've worn it with your hair at the time.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think it's a
Yeah,
misconception, you know, when you say there's hair and it's going to give you a head or so forth. I think if you have the right size, you know, and where you wear, you're not going to pull it down over your head to kind of paste your hair down. I mean, it's you know, look how it's being styled here. I think it's a perfect attire to sort of go with the jeans look, you know, and that's one thing we're talking about.
Exactly.
Denim is going to be huge this year, you know,
Oh, yeah.
when we talk about it. It's making a comeback. Not only the denim material, but also the denim look. You know, it's cotton, but it looks like denim. And when we talk about denim, one of the big things we're seeing with men now is really, you know, the denim jeans, you know, whether it's distressed or it's normal. It's crossing over from the street even into the boardroom. You know,
Yes,
being
big time.
big time. And you can attest to that. One of the things, you know, being in the industry that I work in, you know, luxury retail and so forth. And, you know, with the organization, we're starting to get into what's called business casual now. It's no longer that, you know, shirt and tie and that stuffy look. You know, it's about wearing that nice pair of jeans with the right pair of shoes and the jacket to sort of just tie it all together. So it's starting to make its way from off the streets and into the boardroom.
Would you say in the boardroom 4 or 5 days a week? Because I know they used to call it casual
Casual
Fridays.
Fridays. Yeah.
Right.
Did you think that started?
That's a
yeah,
different-
it started that, but I think it's more, you know, a cultural shift now, and where, you know, business is starting to recognize that, you know, the fashion is changing, the look is changing, and what was acceptable 5 years ago might be a little stuffy now. You know, so they're giving you the opportunity. And one of the things when we talk about Casual Friday, it used to be for, you know, for a charity organization.
right.
You know, you pay your donation and you wear, you know, jeans and so forth into the work environment. But one of the things that's stressed is, yeah, jeans, it can be worn, but it's the right type of jeans and the appropriateness of the jeans. So you can't have those ripped, you know, see-through or whatever the case may be and dirty jeans. You know, you have to make sure it fits the environment on there. And that's always the caveat. You know, it needs to be able to still represent the organization. And now it's an everyday thing, except when you're going to represent your organization in public, you got a board meeting or an interview or whatever, you need to go back into the attire.
This is where my head was, my chain of thought was going. That's exactly like I'm a traditional guy. I'm a suit cap. I was going to be in a boardroom. I wanted a nice tailored suit. You know, I'm not just going to go into a store and buy a suit and then not have it tailored. Like you know that, Tony.
Yeah, you always gotta get it tailored, get it fitted properly to your body, because everybody's body is different. So, you know, just because you buy a suit and it fits you on the shoulders doesn't mean it's going to fit you well around the waist, or, you know, the length, or, you know, you might want to wear it short, or you might want to wear it a bit longer. You know, depends. Some guys like to show off their socks. Some guys don't.
Yeah. So I mean, but like again, the boardroom. To me, the boardroom is a suit, well-dressed guy. I think, from my perspective, I think Charlton, you'd be more of a wearing a suit. You're not a jean type of guy for the boardroom, would you be?
You know what? I gotta admit, they've converted me.
They've converted you.
They've converted
Really?
me to the fact, and you know, when in Rome, you know, do what the Romans
This
do.
is a
type of
man's
thing.
show. You got to
It is,
stick
you know,
together,
but-
boys. What's happening here?
Why, jeans?
They're converting you. They're
I
converting
hear you.
I'm
I'm
about
on
the
his side.
jeans.
I
I'm
hear it.
about the
Yeah.
jeans.
It's about being relaxed with what you do now. It's not about, you know, being stuffy and, you know, I mean, the image is the image for the organization, and that's always key, you know, and that's one of the things we always talk about. You know, do you represent the brand? And, you know, when you're behind the scenes, you know, the brand is loose. When you're in front of the business, in the face of the business, the brand is what it is there, you know. So I think you have to be cognizant of where you're actually presenting that image. And if you're not going to meet the public and you're sitting behind your desk and you're working behind your computer, trust me, being in a suit and tie and, you know, especially in the summertime, is not where it's at. You want to be able to, you know, have that business casual where you can throw the jacket off. You got a nice, you know, polo shirt, or you got a nice, you know, V-neck T-shirt, or and you're comfortable doing what you're doing.
For jeans wise, like you're talking about just blue jeans or colored? Because I mean, for me, if I wear colored jeans, you can't even tell they're jeans. They look like nice pants. With a blazer, you'll be comfortable. They look like regular pants, but you know, they're still jeans.
They're still jeans, and you know, we're moving away from the traditional blue denim. You know, a black pair of jeans, immaculate, with a nice pair of, you know, man's slip-on shoes. You know, you got a nice watch on there. You know, it's all about the accessory too and what you put together for that look.
Classy.
It's classy. It really is.
What do you see for the fall?
You know, I think, you know, one of the things when we look back, there was a lot of bright colors. You know, I referenced the movie that was out a couple years ago, Bieber Boys. I'm not sure if you saw it. They really spoke, you know, to the bright colors and, you know, the nicely tailored slim fit suit and so forth. And that's been carrying a trend. But not everybody can pull that color off.
Right.
So what I'm seeing happening now is you're starting to get back to those, you know, earthly colors. You're going to see a lot of, you know, beige, a lot of browns, you know, a lot of more, you know, subdued type of color. You know, when we talk about pink, and yes, men do wear pink, you know, but we're talking about a faded pink, or we're looking at more of a baby blue type of thing. You know, those are the palettes that you're seeing coming back here. So you're going to see it gets toned down a little, you know, for the fall season too, as we start to get in that. And you're going to see a lot of, you know, jackets. Jackets going to be the key thing. The bomber jackets.
They're coming back?
They're coming back.
Really?
They're making this trend back. Yeah, you
It's
know.
a while ago since I seen a bomber jacket. Hey?
You know.
Yeah.
Back in the
got
day,
mine
that
ready.
was back in the day. That was the jacket.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, big time. How about tie clips?
Tie clips. You know,
You don't see them coming back.
I don't see it coming back.
I know.
What I do see coming
They're
back.
very classy, though.
They're classy.
They're very classy.
You know, and then you have the money clip with it. You know, so that's a whole.
That's a whole.
And then the pocket watch. Pocket watch on top of
another
that.
topic.
That's a whole nother topic in itself. But I mean, you know, you're seeing stuff coming back, and you know what's actually making a resurgence is, you know, it's a double-breasted suit.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of took a bit of a backseat now for the more, you know, tailored singles.
Charlton,
you know,
not to cut you off there, but we're going to go to break soon. But guys, listen, this is Charlton Wallace, photographer. It's a pleasure to have you on the show with us. We'll catch you after the break. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to talk about.
Yeah, I can't do double breast.
And we're back with King K here, our spoken word artist that opens our show for us. An amazing young gentleman, talented. He also has a group that he's going to perform after the segment, Blood, Sweat, and
Tears.
Tears.
Yes, blood, sweat, and tears.
how's it going, King?
Amazing, thank you.
Yeah, pleasure to have you on the set here with all those men.
It's an honor to be here, yeah.
You're the up and coming
Yeah.
generation from us guys, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell us how you get into spoken word.
Growing up, I played football primarily, so that was my main passion, but I always had, you know, a desire to be on stage and to share, you know, the thoughts in my head. So it stemmed from that. So I had a friend that was into spoken word, and he introduced me to it. So I began to perform and, you know, to share the craft. Yeah.
Great. And the band members, how did that come together?
Well, basically, we're part of a program, a youth entrepreneurship program with the BBPA, the Black Business Professionals Association.
Wow.
So we met through that. My brother is a part of the group as well, and a lovely lady named Tiffany. So through that, we met, and Dr. Duncan, and she introduced us to you.
Yeah.
And this beautiful opportunity came about, which
Yeah,
we're
well-
very grateful for.
Cool. We're looking forward to hearing you guys perform. So have you been performing anywhere else? Have you traveled around to perform anywhere else?
Well,
or-
I live in Jamaica as well, so I'm back and forth between Jamaica
Wow.
and Canada. So I performed in Jamaica on a few shows. I was living in Spain for football, and I did 1 and 2 performances there as well. So
So you were living in Spain for football?
for football,
playing
yeah,
for the European
Valencia. I had a camp in Jamaica, and they invited me to come for a year to live and to train.
oh wow.
Yeah, which was a beautiful
So
opportunity.
had you anybody inspire you to the spoken word thing? Like, I mean, I know Jamaica's a big.
Yeah.
It's Bob, and Bob's the man. Bob Marley's the man.
Yes.
You know, and so can you reference anything to Bob or anything like that, or?
Bob Marley, of course, is an inspiration,
Right.
but for me, it wasn't necessarily musicians that inspired my music and my art. I would say more great speakers like Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X,
Right.
like primarily strong men and women, of course. Like when I read about Nanny of the Maroons from Jamaica, it's people like that that inspire my art. And Yaw Santewa, strong women out of West Africa.
Yeah, I know when I seen you, I listened to you the first time, and wow, you gave me goose pimples. That's why I had to
Yeah.
get you on here and get
Thank
everybody
you
out
for the
there to see,
opportunity,
oh, man,
yes.
you know, and then your brother performed too. after that, and it was just fantastic
Yeah,
to watch you
it's
guys, like,
special.
you know,
Yes.
and no nerves or nothing. Like, just get up there and ask to do it, and just boom. That's what you want to be. You want to take the shot,
Yeah.
get it, and you know, you miss 100 shots you don't take, you miss.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and you're here today, and we're glad to have you open.
Thank you for
our
having
shows.
us.
You know, it's awesome. You know, we can't complain, ain't it?
No, can't complain at all.
Strength of the youth today.
Oh yeah.
So what you guys are going to perform? What type of song are you going to perform?
It's a little bit of a mix. So I'm going to be performing spoken word as usual. Tiffany's going to be doing a little bit of poetry. My brother's going to be singing. It's kind of like a R&B soul, a little jazzy, a nice mix.
I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, listen, we look forward to hearing you perform. So I'm going to thank you for being here. I'm going to thank Laura from Single in the City and John. Hope John gets everything sorted out. And definitely Charlton Wallace, who's a close friend on top of that. And I have to say that to Charlton. Thanks very much for coming by. Guys, pop back. Hope to see you next week. Look forward to it. King K's going to perform. Blood, Sweat and Tears.
So we are Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We just came together about a day or so ago, so this is kind of rough, but it's all love, all positivity, so I hope you guys enjoy this.
I don't know how you feel or what's on your mind, but I wanna take you away and watch you smile. And I know challenges may arise, but I'm telling you to spread your wings and take flight.
I know you are, for in me you are the truth that which reverberates so oneness throughout the universe, and we succumb to this love, unrequited or reciprocated. We are dedicated. Oh majestic being, either way you are to me, like a tree planted, while its roots reach deep into the earth's foundation, and its branches stretch forth as arms open wide, giving praises.
Fly your way into the night. I'll watch you fly high, fly away, bluebird fly, bluebird fly. I want to embody truth so I can love you in the spirit and speak the language of the universe, so when I sing songs of my love to you, your soul can hear it. I want to take on the essence of compassion, so like the sun I shine a light that you can bask in without any wanting or asking for your love in return. Not a love that lasts a lifetime, but beyond space and time and lifetimes, to the point where our physical forms decay and wilt away, and I see myself in you and you see yourself in me, and we come to the realization that we were never separate, and that oneness makes us free to be in tune and in touch and in line with our divinity. The same divinity I see when I look at you and God looks back at me. I want to love you. I want to love you.
My eternal being, I see you. I see you gleaming like the sun's beam. You radiate like the scarlet pavement on a burning summer's eve. In your eyes, a trillion stars come alive, and I'm wrapped by your majestic stature. And when you hold me in your caring arms and nurture me, I surrender. I surrender all for you, my strong tower.
Said I don't know how you feel or what's on your mind, but I wanna take you away and watch watch you smile. And I know challenges may arise, but I'm telling you to spread your wings. I'll watch you fly.